125 million records, Dwight Yoakam is much more than a country superstar. He's a talented actor with a lot to say about issues that matter to America. Dwight's latest album is 3 Pairs. Welcome to you, Dwight. Before we go any further, you're a singer.
Yeah.
You must have had sore throats over the years.
I hear that. Well, you know
what? As you
what?
can tell, things are deteriorating. Is there any advice you can give me?
Don't ever take a flu shot again. Now, I watched that night with Dr. Oz, and in deference to Dr. Oz, I think he's, you know, probably, he seems like a completely competent doctor. And I don't understand any of the, you know, the kind of biological aspects of the, you know, of the meds that.
But we're both doing the maths, aren't we? We both saw him put that thing in my arm, and within 10 days, I've been struck down. You know what? I don't want to tell anybody out there. I'm not a medical advisor. Get your vaccines if you. I don't believe in them. I'm just suspicious by nature, and I saw you get it. And here we are. Well, let's try. We'll try and plough on with the interview, notwithstanding the fact I can't speak.
Yeah.
Interesting. You want to talk to me about guns? You've been following some of this debate.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've watched.
Following a lot of the shows we've done. You're a man from Kentucky, and you're a big country star. And you're a big country star. A lot of your fans, a lot of people that you grew up around, would have had guns as a automatic thing in their lives. What is your view about the debate?
Look, guns are very serious. Instruments of survival and defense, but they're weapons. They're dangerous weapons, and you got to be very cautious with them, around them, about them. Yeah, I own guns. I'm not a member of the NRA. Look, the Newtown tragedy was an anomalous horror. I know how Newtown happened. I'm still really, really wrecked over why.
But when you say it's an anomaly, I mean, it wasn't really, in the sense that the last 4 or 5 mass shootings in America in the last 18 months or so have all involved a similar pattern of unstable young white men.
I just meant the scope of history. I meant in the century, the 50 years, the 40 years.
But the point I'm making is that there's been an escalation in this particular type of deranged young white man, normally in their early 20s.
Look, I think the polls
getting access to assault rifles in the main and committing mass murder. Now, that's become not the norm, but certainly the last 5 mass shootings, you've seen that particular type of weapon used. And I keep asking people, and maybe you can give me a more sensible
Virginia Tech, I don't remember. I thought he had handguns there.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the last year.
Oh, the last year. Yeah.
There were 7 mass shootings in America last year. From Aurora, the guy used an AR-15, to Sandy Hook an AR-15, the Oregon Mall an AR-15, the New York firemen lured to their deaths with an AR-15. And I keep asking people...
Congressman Giffords, that was handguns.
Right, and the handguns issue is equally important, but to me, I just don't understand why anybody needs an AR-15 style, military-style weapon. Can you give me an answer?
I don't know if I'll give you an answer that'll satisfy, your sense of sane logic. I think it's born out of the DNA that is the foundation of, those colonies that broke free and that were having troops marshaled in their homes. We're having, the cap and ball stopped from being imported because it wasn't about hunting. It was about being able to defend yourself against tyranny. I don't know that I want the government. I don't trust the government. Do you know?
No,
I'm cynical. I'm a kid of the 60s.
Listen, I've tried to immerse myself into all the arguments without taking a sort of lofty, patronizing view of it. I know that many Americans share that view. I don't fully understand why there's still a fear of tyranny, given no overseas tyranny could possibly compete with the American military.
No, I think we're worried about tyranny from
I was going to come to that. So you're left with a domestic tyranny. But again, if your own government becomes tyrannical, they've got 5,000 nuclear warheads. How do you possibly defend yourselves?
Well, yes.
Nor can I ever see, by the way, as many U.S. Marines have tweeted me to say, nor can I ever see a situation where the American
military would
armed
act on its own
forces
people,
would go against their own people.
Well, that's sort of Egypt, I guess, when you watch that the Egyptian military ultimately turned that revolution by saying, no, we're not going to gun down Egyptians in the street. You hope that's the case. I'm just saying, in an esoteric kind of way, that's a different interpretation of that Second Amendment.
How much do you think that lyrics, perhaps in music, that allude to guns? You've written a song called Buenas Noches.
Yeah.
Includes the line, I placed a gun to her head because she wore red dresses, but now she lay dead.
Well, not because of the dress.
Right. He's been cheated.
He did. Look, he had good reason. That guy
to murder his wife.
Yeah, to commit murder.
Right.
And I'm not going to morph into Robert Blake on you.
Right. But when you take those lyrics, or you take, say, this clip of you from the movie The Panic Room. See this.
Well, now that's not fair. That's an unfortunate clip, you know, because you know, Raul, that character, was really not all that bad. I think he was
in that moment.
At that point, he was pushed.
Right. But here's my question. Do you
know what I think?
Do you think that any lyrics? So obviously, some rap stars' lyrics are far more violent, and I'm only picking that out because it happened to be one of yours. But do you believe that any musician or movie star or movie maker or music producer, do they have any responsibility in terms of the rhetoric about guns or the portrayal of them in movies?
In case of Buenas Noches from a Lonely Room, that literally is an extension of the tradition of... There was an old bluegrass song called Knoxville Girl, where for no reason... Well, it actually goes back to Irish, Scottish, Welsh folk songs. Well, there was a great tradition of murder and mayhem and some of those. And it was handed down into Appalachian culture here and in bluegrass music. It's there in mountain music. That's poetic license. That there was no real person. That wasn't a chronicling of
so I'm not going to hold you fully responsible for all the gun violence in America.
It's like, I won't yell what Robert yelled that night. Are you out of your...
Let's turn to more peaceful matters. It's very peaceful cover.
It's a very peaceful cover.
3 pairs of your new album. Very clean, very simple. These aren't unexploded grenades, right?
No, they're not. They're not. As far as I know, it's a completely non-violent piece of product there. Although I will let you know that the title was a misprint, and they're correcting it.
To 3 Piers?
3 Piers, yeah.
It's great to meet you, Dwight. And good luck with the album.
You played right into my hand. Thank you a lot, mate.
Great to see you. Dwight Yoakam. We'll be right back.